Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Hi viewers, I am Dr. Alamelu Mangai, Assistant Professor from PG and Research Department of Home Science, Bharathasan Government College for Women, Puducherry. Today's module is very interesting where you are going to learn about the most important element in any food service organization, that is the quality control. I am sure as a member of young generation, you all would definitely choose your products and services related to food service industry that is rated as excellent, good, with 5 stars, which has more views and which has more likes or with more ratings, since because you believe in quality. As you are aware, the market of food service industry has become more competitive in this era of globalization. Due to this, a need has been created in order to cater greater customer loyalty, the greater suitability of the product so that it might suit the customer's need, and also a greater concern on the social image of the food service industry. All these depend upon the quality of the products and the services. In the new trend of food service, the word quality always refers to the degree of excellence of the product as well as the service. In this module, let me discuss the significance and the methods as well as the technique of quality control, and I am sure you will learn the integral component of quality control, its method, and also will gain a knowledge on the techniques of quality control. The word control denotes the process of setting standards and measuring the performance and taking corrective action. Quality control deals with the determination of quality standards and measurement and control that is necessary to see that the established standards are maintained and practiced. Betty defines quality control as the industrial management technique or a group of techniques by which the products of uniform acceptable quality are being manufactured. There are also the definition that tells a quality control as a means of recognition and removal of identifiable causes or defects and variations from the set standards. Thus, it refers to the systematic control of various factors that affect the quality of the end product. The end product quality depends on the raw material, the manufacturing tools and the equipments, the degree of skill and proficiency of the worker, the working conditions, etc. The purpose of quality control is to regulate these factors in the food service organization so that the end product conforms to the predetermined standard of the organization. A good quality program should have the following things. The first and foremost one is to establish the standards and specifications of the product on the basis of preference of the customers and the cost of the manufacturer. It also should have design and use the measures for making production with conform to the standards. It should have the selection of the process of manufacture and should establish a logical inspection plan and analysis of data. It also should have coordination of activities to improve the quality. What are the objectives of quality control? The quality control actually aims to achieve so much of objectives. The objectives might be to establish the quality standards which are economical, to establish standards of the raw material which has to be purchased, to evaluate the methods of production and suggest improvements if necessary, to determine the extent or degree of quality deviations in a product during its various stages of production, as well to identify the causes of deviations from the product standard and to suggest the remedial measures to improve the quality of the product. With these objectives, you need to understand what are the significance of quality control. Actually, an efficient system of quality control will have the following benefits. The quality control will bring quality consciousness in the food service establishment and It ensures better utilization of the resources. It helps to provide greater satisfaction to the customers. If a customer is satisfied, then the sales are actually increased. Since there is less waste, the cost of production is also reduced. The morale of the employees also increased, so they have a feeling that they are working in an enterprise which is producing goods of higher quality. The other benefit of quality control is that it creates a good public image of the organization by helping it to provide goods and services of higher quality to the society too. What is known as the responsibility of the quality? Organization of quality control varies with the type of organization depending on the top management, policy, nature of the products, and the state of competition. The chief of the quality control is designated as quality control manager, chief inspector, quality assurance manager, quality manager, etc. This being a staff department, it also inspects raw materials, working force, and finished products. It is going to discriminate between two things. One is the chance that is uncontrollable, and the other is assignable, which is actually controllable variations from the standards. Quality control also locates the points of deviations from the standards, analyzes the causes, and advises the line managers on the standard or quality to built-in products. The strategic quality decisions here are made by the top management. Along with the approval of the new product proposal, the features and other aspects of quality, such as the level of quality desire of the customers, quality of the competing products, are also being approved. Whereas the quality decision is complicated by the relationships of quality with cost and price. The customer may not even always want the best quality. Being a customer, you would prefer a minimum quality control at a price for which you are ready to pay. If the price is more and there is a high quality product, sometimes you might not be attracted. Hence, we understand that the price is related to the cost, and if the cost goes up with every improvements in quality control beyond certain point, it might increase disproportionately. The higher the quality requirements, the tighter becomes the control of manufacturing processes, which might result in longer production time of the finished product. Once the top management has made the strategic quality decision considering the above said points, then the focus has to be laid down on the production department. In designing a product and establishing quality standards, you need to consider of the 8 important factors. One is the end use of the item. Second is designing of the competing product. Third is the customer requirements. Fourth is manufacturing capability to adhere to the standards, the need for the human skills, the interchangeability of the parts, the chance and the assignable factors, that is the controllable and non-controllable factors which actually cause variation from the standard, as well as with the last factor of cost and price of the product. Generally, the production department will work in close collaboration with this quality control, manufacturing, purchasing, sales, and industrial engineering, etc. This department will also establish methods in order to enhance standard performance with the speed maintaining quality. The final quality, whatever it might be, is based on the raw material used. Hence, the purchasing department here has also to maintain the quality. Thus, all the departments in the industry have to work together to reach the expected quality of the finished product or service. Although quality control does not directly build quality in products, it assists the line managers in the determination of quality standards and by identifying the areas and reasons of deviation from established quality standards. It also helps in maintaining the standards by conducting inspections and the test of materials, the work in progress, and the finished products. Hope the responsibility of quality is clear. Moving on to the next aspect, that is the methods of quality control, which broadly include two main things. One is inspection and other is statistical quality control. You are going to learn these two methods of quality control in detail. The first is inspection. Inspection is an important part of any system of production control. Inspection is concerned at getting the products of the right quality starting from the point of purchase until the delivery of final product. Inspection may be either remedial or preventive. Preventive inspection can take place at various stages of production in order to avoid the production of substandard products. And the remedial inspections can be taken after the goods have been produced or manufactured in order to separate the defective goods from the right quality goods. Hence, inspection is used at the time of purchasing of raw materials too. What are the responsibilities of inspection? It has many responsibilities, and to name a few, the inspection and the test of the quality of all the material and the purchased parts has to ensure that they conform to the prescribed specifications and the standards. It should check in progress the manufacturing to ensure that the manufactured parts and sub-assemblies conform to the standards, thus preventing further processing of defective pieces. It should check the quality of finished products to ensure that goods are acceptable quality before it is dispatched for sale. It should also provide data for future decisions relating to product designing, tooling, product engineering, and production planning and control. It also is responsible for the maintenance and periodic testing of inspection devices such as gauges and other instruments. It also advises line management on the disposal of scrap and ensures that the rejected materials or parts do not re-enter the production process. With these responsibilities of inspection, you need to understand the types of inspections also. The food service organization might follow any one types or two or many types of inspection. The first is remedied inspection. Actually, this is done to separate usable raw materials or work in progress from defective raw materials. Next is preventive inspection, and this is done to find out the causes responsible for the defective work and to suggest measures to overcome these causes. Third is operative inspection or in progress inspection. This is actually done to check and control the quality standards in the production process. Centralized and decentralized inspection. This may be done at specified central points in the organization or at the place where actual operations are being carried out. The former is known as the centralized inspection and the latter is decentralized or floor inspection. Under centralized inspection, the raw materials or the products are being moved to the inspection center where the inspectors apply various kinds of tests. This type of inspection has an advantage as it permits more intensive utilization of inspecting personnel and the testing equipment. It makes possible the use of sensitive testing devices which need standard testing condition. It serves cost by obviating the need for investment in multiple units of measuring devices which will have to be made in ease of decentralized inspection. It also permits relatively closer supervision of the inspecting staff and more efficient maintenance of the instrument. The inspectors can have easy access to the records, books, journals, and reference material which may not be available to them on the shop floor. Finally, inspection may be more objective and impartial as the inspectors are specially removed from the operatives and supervisors whose work they inspect. There are certain disadvantages of centralized inspection too. Disadvantages are increased cost and delays involved in the transportation of materials, its parts to the centralized location, lack of touch with the real operating situation, piling up of defective work until the lot is ready to be dispatched for inspection, delays in corrective action which will have to wait the receipt of inspection report. But under the decentralized or floor inspection, the inspectors move from the department to department and inspect the raw materials, unlike the centralized one. They also enter to work in progress and finished products then and there. This kind of decentralized or floor inspection is also known as patrolling inspection. This kind has certain advantages as it saves time and the cost of transportation of handling material, which will have to be incurred in case of centralized inspection. The materials can move fast in the plant from one operation to the another. The workers do not have to wait for inspectors to approve the setup machines so that they can start the processing operation very fast. This can also avoid possible accumulation of defective materials and parts. In the decentralized inspection, inspectors can promptly detect adverse trends and infinite action for improving machine alignments or operations. Finally, the inspectors can demonstrate and explain the defects to the operatives and superiors. There are some disadvantages in the decentralized inspection. The rearmost one is that in case there is insufficient inspection work at the workstation, it may result in underutilization of inspecting personnel and the testing instrument, which might involve extra cost in multiple units of inspecting devices, and it might need some items to use a special testing equipment which may be available only centrally. With these advantages and disadvantages, you need to understand what the inspection policies are. The inspection department formulates a number of policies and procedures to aid the inspection in performing their function. These policies and procedures commonly relate to the determination of the points of inspection, location of inspection, and the methods of inspection. The second method of quality control is very important, which is the statistical quality control. Let us now understand thoroughly what the statistical control is. The landmark in the development of statistical quality control came in 1924 as a result of work of Dr. Walter Shewhart during his employment at Bell Telephone Laboratory. He recognized that there will always be variation in the resulting products in the manufacturing process. He also recognized that this variation can be understood, monitored, controlled by the statistical procedures. There are other leading pioneers in the field of quality control like Dodge, Romick, and they were responsible for the development of quality control based on sampling techniques. These techniques formed what has now been known as acceptance sampling. Although the techniques of acceptance sampling and control charts were not widely adopted initially outside Bell, during 1920s, many companies have established inspection departments as a means of ensuring quality. During the Second World War, due to the need of mass-produced products, this statistical sampling and inspection methods became successful, and Dr. Deming and Duran spread the use of such techniques further, especially in the US industry. This statistical quality control applies a statistical tool to testing or inspection for the maintenance of quality standards. It is actually based on the theory of sampling and laws of probability. By the application of this sampling techniques, a continuous analysis of results can be obtained which aims to control the quality of materials, products, and the processes, all which is within the predetermined tolerance. The quality trend is actually based upon the analysis of inspection data, variations from the prescribed tolerances. This actually will also enable for preventive action for controlling quality. SQC has shortly been abbreviated. This statistical quality control makes a sample inspection more reliable. In case of sample inspection, a small part of certain lot of products is inspected and its quality is assumed to be the quality of a lot. This is called statistical interference. That is, the characteristics of the whole lot or the population are inferred to be like the sample. Sampling may prove to be risky because of the possibility that a sample may not have exactly the same characteristics as a whole lot. Sampling, though is useful, it is reliable because it eliminates 100% inspection and is the only possible method for products which must be tested until they fail or break. Sampling technique may save money as well. Hence, the main objective of this statistical quality control is to show how reliable the sample is and how to control the risk associated with sampling technique. Let's now move on to the uses of statistical quality control. In general, there are three uses. One is to control the quality of work done on the individual operations while the work is being done. This is actually called as variable control because it deals with the average measurements and range of deviation. The second general use is to decide whether to accept or reject lots of products that is being already produced. This is called attribute control. When not able to measure the characteristics of the item, the inspector here uses judgment. And thirdly, to furnish management with the quality audit of the company's product. Let us now move on to the advantages of SQC. The main advantage is that because it is based on sampling technique, it lowers the cost of inspection, it permits the determination of tolerances on scientific basis, and the control chart technique will inform the management if things are not going as they should. It might also prevent the scrap loss due to the practice of process and attribute control. It also helps in deciding whether to accept or reject lots of products that has been already manufactured. This will enhance the goodwill of the enterprise among the customers. And finally, it might increase the morale of the workers as they get satisfaction by working in the frame producing high quality products. There are certain techniques in statistical quality control that you need to understand. The two important techniques are control chart and acceptance sampling. What is a control chart? A control chart is a statistical tool for indicating variations in quality from the standards. A graph is there which presents the line that defines the range of expected variability. It gives a running record of quality measurement by which every new measurement can be graphically compared with the past performance and thus can be properly evaluated. What is the assignable causes of deviation? The assignable causes of deviation from the standards include differences among the workers, differences among the machines, differences among the materials, differences due to the interaction between two or three of these factors. The main purpose of control chart is to detect the presence of assignable causes of variation. The basic concept behind this quality chart is when a process is affected, the variation among the samples are predictable in terms of numerical limits. When the product's characteristics exceed these limits, then the assignable causes can be safely assumed. There is a number of control charts that is used for the purpose of process control. A food service organization can use this chart of individual observance, or chart of averages, or the chart of range. The next technique is the acceptance sampling. This is a technique that is used to check the products that is already completed. It is also known as attribute sampling. Under this, the quality of outgoing products will be controlled to ensure that on an average, no more than some specified percent of defective items will pass. This inspection plan is also known as acceptance sampling plan based on attributes. A limit of the number of defectives is laid down and the sample is taken on the random basis. If the sample contains less than the predetermined number of defectives, it is accepted, and if does not, it will be rejected. This may happen if one sample does not represent the characteristics of the lot that it is going to represent. In order to avoid the possibility of wrong decision being taken, it is always advisable to take a number of samples. With this very scientific method of quality control, do you think there would be any limitations of SQC? There is. It might fail to detect all the defective parts, products, and materials because large numbers that inspectors are required to inspect. The inspection tends to be monotonous, resulting in inspection fatigue sometimes. It might also subject to errors of human judgment. And finally, the inspectors often make it a practice to reject a few pieces so that they may seem to be doing a good job. To summarize this module, let me once again highlight that quality control is most important part in controlling the whole process of any food service organization. A thorough understanding of the statistical techniques and implementation of this technique is very essential so that you will ensure that no much loss is incurred in your food service establishment. Also, the quality control is going to pave way for a positive attributes to the customers. The production of quality products and the services is also going to enable the operative workers of your food service organization, whether it is a larger one or the smaller one, to remain loyal to your organization. Thus, in the changing scenario of the customer's need, food service establishments need to adopt these techniques to compete in the market.